No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing? Happy Wednesday to you here at Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. You know what that means on a Wednesday morning? We get Brad Bedell, former... Uh-oh, am I muted? You can't hear me? I think we're good, Brad. I got sound. Do you not have sound? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Brad's not hearing me. I think we're live. I think we're good. Brad, what do we got going on with your headphones here? Anything? You got me? Check. Brad Bedell, do you have me? Do you have your earphones in? Brad Bedell, are you good? Can you hear me? I don't hear you either, so I don't know what you did here. Are you, you should be in. Where'd he go? Where's Brad? We'll pull Brad out for a second. Maybe we'll bring him back in. Let's try again. You there? Got me? No, it doesn't have me. Okay. Let's see what's going on with Brad. We will get Brad connected here in just a second. While Brad is connecting, I will say we're in the Western Collective Studios. Western Collective, make sure you pick up that Horseshoe Golden Ale or the the Orange Chaos Seltzer. The Horseshoe Golden Ale or the Orange Chaos Seltzer. You can get both of those at your local retailer, wherever you buy your beer, your seltzers. But of course, they've got them at Albertson Stadium as well. So make sure you pick up the Orange Chaos Seltzer and the Horseshoe Golden Ale. Perfect to go grab a 6-pack and have those on Saturday night, 9 o'clock for Boise State and Hawaii. Looking forward to getting over to the islands. Bronco Nation News is going to be the only local media outlet, as we've been telling you about, making the trip over to Hawaii on Saturday. So looking forward to getting over there and providing you pregame, postgame coverage, exclusive coverage that you won't find anywhere else in terms of the only postgame video interview with Spencer Danielson and some of the other spots. So maybe you've traditionally hope always come to BNN, but now you have to come to BNN post game because you won't be able to get Spencer Danielson video anywhere else, at least not right away. I think Boise State's going to record some and send it back to other folks. But I don't say this to brag or gloat, but I say it as a thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our paying subscribers. Thank you for helping make it work for Bronco Nation News to be able to pay the expense and travel over to Hawaii to cover this game. So it's not cheap. If you're on the fence thinking about subscribing, we'd love to have you. $50. BNN 50 deal is that promo code, BNN 50 deal. You type it in at bronconationnews.com. You get $20 off your first year. And that includes a daily email, all kinds of exclusive columns and articles from Mike Prater and myself, and a lot of other great benefits as a subscriber. And you're also just kind of helping us keep this alive and be able to do this and be able to pay the, $2,000+ for a couple nights hotel and a flight and everything it costs to go over and cover this game on the island in Hawaii. And so I don't say it as a negative or to, like I said, brag and speak negatively towards other media outlets that have their own challenges and financial things. I say more proudly that we're in a position we can do this, and we're proud that we're the only group that's putting in the effort and putting in the investment to make this happen and go over to the island. So thank you again to all of our sponsors for making this possible, and thank you again to all of our paying subscribers, and even thank you to all of you that maybe aren't a subscriber, but you watch our videos here and you hit like every day and you hit that button. That means a lot, and we sincerely appreciate that. So we thank all of you for making it possible for us to get over to Hawaii on Saturday, and we'll have full pregame coverage. I think we're hoping to have Jeremiah Dickey on Saturday. We're hoping to actually have Rachel Danielson, Spencer Danielson's wife, I think is going to join us from the field for the pregame show. A lot to discuss. We're going to have plenty of guests and things on the pregame show, and then I think Mike Sanford may help us to start the postgame show off. And I'll do my interviews with Coach Danielson and the players, and then I will jump on afterwards with Mike, and we'll have full coverage from the island on Saturday. And looking forward to getting over there and having coverage. Let's try this again. We might have Brad Bedell. Let's see if we have Brad here in the background. Brad, can you hear me now? Do we have Brad Bedell right now? There you are.
Good. Red Chuck to Gray Squirrel. Sorry about that.
You. That's what I get for not testing it before we started, so I apologize for that.
No. That's on me. That's not on you.
No. You would have never known if you couldn't hear me or not, because I just started the show and didn't do our usual test stuff because I came in a little late. So I apologize for that. Brad, we're going to get to some clips here in a few minutes. I know folks really, really liked having you on in terms of the film breakdown of Ashton Jeanty. We're going to do some more of that this week, and I assume that's going to be a weekly thing, just Ashton Jeanty film breakdown. But any final thoughts from the Utah State game? Thoughts on going over to Hawaii? Just kind of your opening thoughts. What do you got here on a Wednesday morning?
Well, I think one, coming off a great game, the offense played well. I think as you dive deeper into the game, if you really want to look at it, Utah State, give them credit, they stopped Jeanty the best of all year. I mean, and I don't want to, because it happened, right? But if you take away the 75-yard run and a couple of big ones, he's down to 120-something yards. So they actually corralled him a little bit at the line of scrimmage a time or two. But once again, you're about to see one of the, in my opinion, it's his best run of. We've seen him, break tackles. We've seen him run somebody over. There's a clip where he flat out makes somebody miss and embarrasses a young man. I mean, it's really, really bad. And I think defensively, you're up 1 week, which Washington State, they played really well, and then they gave up some plays. So I think that with that, you got to test going to the island, going to the Rock with statistically the second best defense in the Mountain West Conference. You're paused.
Hopefully you're filling there, Brad.
There we go. Yeah, I did.
I'm having some internet issues here, and I thought I had it fixed and tried to switch back, and it's not working yet. So I apologize to everybody for the crazy start to the show here.
No, we're good. Like I was saying, before we had a little snafu, he makes somebody miss in the hole, which we're about to look at, and then you're going to the Rock, and statistically speaking, UNLV hasn't, or I'm sorry, Hawaii hadn't played a dynamic schedule, but statistically they're the best defense in the Mountain West Conference behind Wyoming.
Yeah. And by the way, a little quick math I just did here. You take out the 75-yard run, you take out the 63-yard run, which again, those count, and those are big runs, but he had
They have
his other 11 carries were for 50 yards.
right. So and they corralled him. So I think they're gonna when you look at those statistics, I think some schools like a Hawaii or somebody in the future is gonna look at that game and go, okay, they held him, take away explosives. Like every defensive coach I've ever worked with is like, well, if we took these runs out, well, you can't take them out. They happened. They won. He was explosive, but they're also going to say, well, what corralled him in the box? What corralled him? And so they did a good job at time or two. And I give Utah State credit. I still hold by my original statement. I don't think they're a very good football team. I think offensively they're good. I just don't think defensively they're a very good football team.
And we're going to get into the Hawaii matchup, and in here in a minute, and we'll talk about them. But let's, and I want to talk about the challenges that they do present. But let's go ahead and get to our film breakdown. This is Brad Bedell. We got some more film here, and I got to make sure I can pull this in properly here, Brad. So I'm going to go full screen on this. I may not be able to get much. Let's see if I can zoom in a little more. For some reason, this one's going a little different. There we go. Is that working full screen? All right. We're going to make this the best we can here. What do we got here? Set this up for us. This is from the game against Utah State on Saturday.
Yep, you got pistol formation, which they've kind of made a little bit of heyday at. Single wing, so your tight ends off the ball, so you can call it a wing formation, if you will. You got a 4 down front, so the 2 in the box. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 defenders, and I'm counting the young man outside the tight end as the 7th. So there you go. There's your loaded box. Okay. So now you've got to either make one miss in the hole, or you can zone read it and arc the tight end for the young man who's outside left and read the defensive end. Now you have them all blocked. So if everybody blocks 6 for 6, there's going to be an open guy. There's going to be an extra defender. Hit play. Let's see what happens. Okay, stop right there if you can. Okay, so if you're going to notice here, that motion right there. So they did a speed sweep motion. That is to control the extra defender to the left. You have the arc right there. Now, all they want to do is hold and stop the defensive end on the left, he's going to just pause his feet. So right when he takes the step, and then he's going to pause it. So perfect. Then let it play. That right there, he's done. Great cutback, washed him aside. Great job by Ben Dooley getting on the second level, number 66 right there. And he's going to take it vertical right up the Mount West logo, and that defensive end is not going to make that tackle. Watch this. Nope, you're not going to make it, and I'm gone. So by design, that defensive end was to be led wide open. Okay, that's the design of the play. Because now they'll probably come back at some point, possibly, and hand off the speed sweep with the defensive end crashing. Now you have an extra blocker for the speed sweeper. So that's just a great run, great design. The defensive end, no feet. He's scared to death right now.
I mean, you got 2 of your linemen are like 5, 6, 7 yards past the line of scrimmage here, getting some push.
No doubt, getting pushed. Like I said, great job by Dewey. Great job by 77. I mean, my God, he is just whooping that linebacker.
I mean, that's
the 3 technique. So yeah, they took the 3 technique. 7, that's 6. There's 7. There's 8. There's 9. He's still locked on, and it's gone. And the ref is getting the wide receivers pushing the safety into the referee. So that's an extra defender that we.
Ashton Jeanty right here deciding to cut it. I mean, this looks like right here.
Yeah, he has to. So the wall's made by them, right? So the defensive end on the left is doing a good job holding ground to the or the right tackle. I'm sorry. That would be the 3 tech. So the shade right there with the center. So the right guards, he's locked up. He's kind of holding his point pretty good. The center does a great job in the middle of the logo. He's going to pry him to the right. Ben Dooley climbs to your linebacker to cover him up. He's going to drive him to the right. The left tackle makes the play, doing a great job on the 3 technique. He's going to put him 9 yards in the backfield. And then 17 comes in right there. He's going to create a block to get it to the 3rd level, 4th level. but the defensive end's too slow. He's got to crash it and make a play. So his left shoulder should be on the hip right there. He's too high. His feet aren't moving. He's not driving his feet through the
that
tackle.
DB also that 17 is taken with him. I mean, he's not even looking at the play here. And
no,
I'm
he
seeing
probably has him.
when Ashton Jeanty has the ball, why is he still running with 17? He realizes it way too late and then has no chance to come back.
Yeah, they're playing man. That's what you get. It's awesome.
All right, we'll let this play out here. Tell us about I'll pause it on the next play here.
Sure.
We've got 3 or 4 plays to go over. So what do we got here?
All right, we've got a cluster formation. I'm going to go to I'm going to go to Boise State's, so our right as we look at this. Okay, the back's offset, Jeanty's offset, and now we're looking at, if you really want to look at football and things like that, either they're going to run a duo where the play side will be to Boise State's left, or they will bring something across the field, maybe a zone, back to the weak side, the open side over there to the right, or this one's going to be a counter play. They're doing a really good job on counter these days. So now Dewey's going to pull, the tight end's going to pull. So there you go. They're your 2 pullers. We're cooking now. Now, if you look at the defensive end, the left defensive end for Utah State, he's on the hip. So
Number
now, his job is to attack the tackle's shoulder. Attack the shoulder, get him off. So he can't see how he's not going to be able to get to 42? That's a great job by the D end, but he's about to get logged. So now once he gets logged, now the tight end's going to come around. So now he's going to take the first thing that showed. Okay, so he's going to tap that hip of the linebacker. So 42 is free by the design of the defense, but he can't make the tackle because of the explosiveness and the speed that Jeanty's getting to. Okay, I know everybody that has talked about like the wide receivers, they need more catches. What these wide receivers are doing blocking right now is dominant. That's dominant right there on the corner. That's dominant. That is an unbelievable job. Yeah, I mean, it's an unbelievable job. I mean, that's right there is they may not be getting a whole lot of balls right now, but they also understand if I want to catch the ball, I better block. And if I'm not blocking, I'm not playing.
Not hold?
Yeah, no, it's not holding because it wasn't called.
Well, I'm saying not that this is holding, but in general, when a receiver is blocking sometimes, can that be difficult for a receiver to not hold?
It is, especially if you overshoot it and see how he's bouncing it all the way out. It's another great job of letting go at the last moment on 4, or he's on an island. So the sideline judge is staring. He's got the tackle. That's clear. So now he's going to look at the wide receiver. Okay. He just keeps his feet going and he's locked inside. And then watch, he lets go. It's perfect. Stiff arm. Okay. Balance.
I think this might have been the first run. Was this the first play of the game?
The first run of the game. Yeah. This is the touchdown.
Yep.
So
how much of this? What I mean, when you're seeing these clip after clip after clip, is this a lot of bad technique, a lot of bad stuff, or is Ashton Jeanty making these teams look really bad? I mean, are they fitting this for? What are you seeing more often than not? Them fitting it right and him making them look bad, or them not being in the right spot?
Theoretically, the fit by 42 is incorrect. He needs to play at 1. See how he needs to come over further. So he should be sitting right off the pulling tight end's outside hip. So he should be down the field on left of the hash. He just gets caught up because the tackle's got him, but he's not fast enough. And 2, it's how fast that Jeanty is getting to that line of scrimmage. He's just losing eyesight. He lost him.
Okay, what do we got here?
Same thing. We got a little motion, just a little eye candy. You got a wing set by the tight ends. They're going to bring another one down. So now you got everybody. Okay. Once again, it's speed. So they're going to be running another power, more or less. Okay. So you're going to have Ben Dooley pull. Everybody else is
for fans out there, when you're have a guy in motion, you're seeing how the Utah State linebackers or DBs are moving. What does that tell you?
Well, it could be shift. There's shift for man and shift for zone. See how they're all just bumping? So they're going to be trading this thing off. See how they're pointing at the motion guy? I got him. You sit in the box. Okay. The other reason why they needed to do this is right now, I mean, they're outmanned. I mean, look at this. So Dewey's going to pull. You got a guy coming off that edge. Dewey's going to he's going to pull and kick. Okay. The linebacker sitting right there. There's the one-on-one. Oh, the tight end pulled. So it's counter. But the counter didn't get there because Boise State's O-line gave up some penetration. See how the tight end's tripped? He's gone. Yep. So he stops him enough. It's almost like a cut block. He stops him enough. This is another example. That ball should not be going there. So Ben Dooley does a great job letting go, because that should be, I mean, most offensive linemen, they'll hold that, right? He has them, but he just let go, or he lost his extension in his placement. And so now it's just another one-on-one. It's not poor fundamentals. It's not poor scheme. He's just better than everybody else.
And there's 81 Austin Bolt with another block in the end zone.
Again, 81, the wide receivers, they are blocking their tails off. He should take them to dinner. So counters. So that's a couple of counters that we've seen. Is this it? Oh, I think this is it. Hit play real quick. Yeah, this is it. Watch this. Oh.
Wow. Are you there, Brad? Brad may have dipped out for a second. I apologize, guys. I don't know what's going on with our internet issues today. Part of it's mine. The audio thing was Brad, so I don't really know what's going on today. I apologize for that. We're going to get Brad back in just a second here. You there, Brad? Nope, Brad's still not there. All right, we're going to get back to Brad in just a second. I may thank a couple of our sponsors real quick while we're waiting for Brad to jump back on. One of those days, they're doing some internet issues at my house. I don't know what the issue is. This might be on Brad. I'm not really sure, to be honest. So I apologize for just a weird, wonky show today, but we're making it the best that we can. Shout out to ICCU, Tyson Degenhart, Idaho Central Credit Union. We got another episode hopefully coming during the bye week next week, so check them out. ICCU.com. The Tyson Degenhart Show with our man Tyson Degenhart, and again, Idaho Central Credit Union. We appreciate ICCU and their support of Bronco Nation News. ICCU.com. Check them out. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Roepaint.com, ROEpaint.com is our title sponsor. Make sure you check them out. We'll get back to Brad's film breakdown in just a second here. ROEpaint.com. Check them out, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics and our title sponsor. Again, those concrete coatings, interior, exterior residential painting. Check them out at Roepaint.com. I mentioned earlier the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the Orange Chaos Seltzer. Pick those up at the downtown or Garden City locations for Western Collective. And again, we'll be having the watch party on Saturday night. I know it's kind of a late game, but join the whole crew out there at 9 o'clock at House of Western there at Bar National, downtown Boise on Idaho Street. If you want to watch the game with some friends, 9 p.m. start, watch the game, and then just hit up the town afterwards. Hope to see you for the watch party on Saturday night, 9 o'clock at House of Western, Bar National inside of House of Western. Do want to thank Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. Number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Check them out online, BauscherRealEstate.com. And again, the best in the business. Highly recommend Matt and his team. They helped us every step of the way, buy our home, sell our home, and now he's part of the Boise State home team. So BauscherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Check them out as well. 13 locations across the state of Idaho. Highly recommend them as well. You're looking for that hometown grocer. You walk in, just that family feel, and they have great deals to boot. So check them out, shopridleys.com. And again, download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line at shopridleys.com. Snake River Pool and Spa, the SpaTeam.com. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. And again, whether it's a spa for the back patio, the pool table for the game room, the sauna, they can take care of either full inventory and options online at the SpaTeam.com. And again, check them out. Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, and Nampa. All right, let's see if we got Mr. Brad Bedell back here. There you go.
Sorry
One of those.
that.
It's your internet, my internet. We're going to get through it somehow.
Yeah, I apologize.
No worries. That's mostly mine, I believe. But all right. So we were on this clip right here, Brad, and you were talking about
what I was most excited about. What's this? Okay. So they're running that's Dooley pulling, right? Single power move. There's the one in the hole. We haven't seen this yet. That's one-on-one in the hole, right? So we've seen the stiff arm. Okay, the stiff arm. He likes to. He's a right-handed carrier, right? So he's left stiff arm to the left. So that's one-on-one. We've seen him run people over. We've finally seen one-on-one in the hole, and he embarrasses this kid. I mean, it's bad. Scoot. Goodbye. I mean, that's a flat-out miss. I mean, look at his feet in the hole.
So if you're 24, I mean, you have this guy you have Jeanty lined up about as good as possible right here.
Yeah, and what I want to know is, which we haven't seen. See how the defenders come to balance, and he's waiting. Close the distance. Drive through contact. Right? He's just waiting. Like, okay,
he's already be moving right at him.
Exactly. Yo, go right at him. Attack him. Make him stop his feet. Because look at that footwork right there. I mean,
so he does a little stutter step to the left, right there.
Yeah,
and that causes that guy to lean left, and then he just
lean. And all he's tackling is air.
I'm not sure he even made contact with him there. Yeah.
Yeah, that right there, that is that run right there fires me up because it showed a whole nother dynamic to his running style. So now you're looking on film and go, all right, so they've attacked him, he stiff armed him for 65 or 70, right? Well, if you don't watch it, he's going to run you over. And then now he'll make you flat out miss the hole. I mean, the feet right there, and then the drive through and finishing runs are just unbelievable.
And that's not one of his highlight touchdown 70-yard runs, but maybe just as if not more impressive.
I think that's more impressive than meeting somebody in the hole and making him flat out tackle air. That's impressive. Those are the runs that people watch and go, okay, he's got everything. Okay, this is a great one. I just wanted you guys to see this because we talk about the running style, right? We talk about how, he can run the ball. He can do this. He can do that. Well, you know what? He can also protect the passer. This is a great job. Look at him meet this linebacker. Bam, right there. Stoned him. Okay, now he's coming right for the quarterback. I mean, he's got eyes. He wraps around, understands the protection. Okay, that's his guy, right? Wrapped around it. Okay, and what's also important is if you rewind that, the O-line's going 3 for 3 to the right. Okay, so his ID, he starts with 1 to the left, 2, that's his third. So he has to wrap for that guy. So that's an understanding of protections. Okay, 4 from the side, that's the slide side. I have to take the extra. And he does. He sees it right off the bat. And then steps up.
Number 1 there coming in.
Well, 1's coming. That's for the guard, right? So they made a 3.
Picks him up, and then that leaves opening here on.
That means, and that's 4 from a side. And when you have 4 rushers, there's only 3 offensive linemen that they can slide to, and all 3 O-line are locked in. The right tackle's about to be locked in. I don't know what that defensive end's doing, but that's the 4th guy. So now the tailback's got to wrap back and hit him. And if he doesn't, and let's say Jeanty went on his check down, that's a sack. That's impressive. I mean, that's just he's an overall tailback.
Yeah. No, we're doing this every week, man. It's becoming the Ashton Jeanty film study, and every week he continues to do new things that we're not seeing.
And I like the fact that, the O-line, they're pulling great. The tight ends are dominant. And, the wide receivers are blocking. And so there's the standard in that room is if you're not blocking, you're probably not playing. That would be my guess. So they understand, like, I don't want to be that guy. I want to get the ball. So I think it's just important and point out some of those things that the skills, like they're playing great team offense. And we know that. I mean, so it's good. It's a good. I was excited about that clip, making him just miss a kid in the hole. It's another layer of his game.
So when you're like Hawaii or the next opponents, watching these same clips, and you're a defensive player or a defensive coach, I mean, are you looking at it as, hey, they missed a tackle, I'm not going to miss that, or are you looking at it as, this guy is going to make me miss? Like, what's Hawaii's defense thinking about looking at those same clips?
I would say the first thing they're looking at, and if they got their game plan going, they got to go first with block destruction. And we mean block destruction as, okay, getting off double teams, getting to extension, get off the blocker, things like that. The other thing is it's got to take more than one of us. Because if it's just one-on-one, history has shown who wins that, right? So now, I'll say it again. If you have your first shot, you got to get his feet stopped. If his feet get stopped, you got 10 more coming to the ball. And if they do not get off blocks and sit double teams and think of block destruction, we're going to see another 200-yard game. It's just the way it is. And they're watching, the kids are watching the film, and they're like, oh, I can't believe you missed that, until we get to the game on Saturday. And we're sitting here next Wednesday saying, oh, look at this. We've seen this before, haven't we?
Yep.
But we're going into week, I don't know, what is it, week 5, week 6?
It's game 6, week 7.
Okay, so Boise State's game 6, and he just showed another dynamic run that it's not going to be huge statistically. I mean, that run's not going to be on Sports Center. It's not going to be on a highlight. But when the kids are watching the film and they're like, Coach, he just tackled air. Okay, so now how are we going to do this? And Hawaii, getting into the Hawaii game a little bit, is they haven't played a great schedule. Okay, Northern Iowa, UCLA, said Delaware State was that week 1. Okay.
Yep.
So I don't know. They don't have
lost by 1 at San Diego State. Tough game there.
State, which, I think San Diego State came in to try to be like, okay, we're going to be a premier rushing attack in this conference. And we know that young man was very confident after week 1. They held him to, I believe, was it less than 100 yards?
Yeah. Mr. I'm blanking on his name. I got to look that up. We're gonna look him up real quick. Mr. Cooper, right? Is it Cooper?
I believe so.
Yes. He's Marquez Cooper. He has 126 carries for 583 yards, 5 touchdowns on the season. He's averaging 4.6 yards per carry. And in the game the other day, he did have 100. Oh, that's in 2 games. His game log here, he just had 30 carries to get 109 yards.
30 carries, get 109. So statistically, in the Mount West Conference, Hawaii is second in the conference stopping the run. They give up 120.6 yards a game. So is this a good test? I mean, they're second to UNLV in stopping the run, right? They're actually in passing. In passing, they're the best passing defense in the conference.
Oh yeah.
So
well, flip it because they are their defense. Excuse me, their offense is number 37 in passing offense as well. We've talked a lot about Boise State's defense having problems, particularly in the pass defense category, but just in general. This will be a test, I think, for Boise State's defense as well, with that run and shoot and the way that Hawaii can move the ball.
I agree, 100%. I mean, sacks. Obviously,
what is the run and shoot offense? Can you let our fans know could you describe that?
It's like run and shoot. So you're looking for holes. So it's you run into a hole and you sit. Okay, so if they're running mesh, it's like the Mike Leach system. Okay, this is a great example. They spent almost every practice just running mesh. And mesh is when 2 wide receivers are crossing. Like we've all seen that, right? So in man, you got to keep running. Stair step, drop the man player. In zone, you run the mesh and you sit in the holes. Okay, so that's going to be important. The run and shoot's a big mesh system. Mike Leach was a big mesh guy. And then it's finding holes. It's throwing posts to cover 2. It's sitting curl routes in cover 3 where you got your one high who's taking the safety's got the deep third. The other corner's got the deep third. So you're running curl routes and you're going to hook it over the flat defender. So that's how you can get some chunk plays versus the run and shoot. They always say they'll run the ball. If they run the ball, it's just to keep somebody off balance. A lot of screens, a lot of throws, nows, things like that. But their head coach has been very successful offensively. He was very successful as a player at Hawaii.
Yep.
And he knows the run and shoot system. So they're going to be able to throw the ball. They have given up some sacks, which that's natural. I think it's 13 on the year. So that's another one. If they can get after this quarterback, that destroys everything. Okay. And the other thing is you always want to have the run and shoot play behind. Okay. Get them in 1st and 15, which we say that every week, but that keep them off kilter. The routes change, the depths change, things like that.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if it's the internet issues or what's going on. But folks, I apologize. We can't take your comments today. So we're not ignoring you. I'm just not seeing them. So you guys can chat amongst each other, I guess. I assume it's working there. But for whatever reason, Brad, we no comments today. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing for us, but we cannot take any of the comments today. Hopefully that's fixed for tomorrow, so you guys can chat amongst yourselves. But I apologize as of now. That's why we're not getting them in. All right, I want to talk about Hawaii and just the challenge of this road trip here as we wrap up in a second. But first, do want to thank a couple more of our sponsors. Lithia Ford of Boise. The fall kickoff sale is underway, and don't forget on next Saturday, October 19th, from 11 to 2, you can meet Jonah Dalmas, Matt Lauder, Ahmed Hassanin, and Andrew Simpson. 11 to 2 next Saturday at Lithia Ford. They'll be taking pictures, signing autographs. So make plans right now. 11 to 2 on October 19th. Take the family and go meet the NIL guys over at Lithia Ford of Boise. Taco Bell, been saying this all week, but how do you know that the food is good and it's a great place to go have dinner? I literally saw the owner and his family having dinner there last Thursday. It was great to run into Stan and the Nicolason family. So TacoBellWorks.com, SON Management. We appreciate them. If you're looking for a job, they're hiring as well, but the food is great. My kids loved the slushies and the cheesy roll-ups, and it was a very cheap dinner, and the kids were pumped. So I had the cantina salad, and it was great too. So loving Taco Bell, appreciate them. And would appreciate you if you'd go check out our friends at Taco Bell. Speaking of jobs, how about the trucking industry? Transportation Compliance Service can help you every step of the way get into the trucking industry. Transcompservice.com. Whether it's DOT, overweight, all the permits and things you need. It's a company that's helping people all over the world, based here in the Treasure Valley. So help them out, support them at Transcompservice.com. The Blue and Orange Store, you need some game day gear, they got you covered. Whether it's coaches, sideline apparel, now that the weather is maybe going to start cooling down here soon, you can get a new jacket, a new sweatshirt, all kinds of great deals. They got that clearance rack in the front of the store. Maybe the best value in town is the clearance rack. Some great deals on there. Check them out, theblueandorangestore.com. You can order anywhere in the world, or you can just go to the Boise Town Square Mall. They're on the second floor and pick up your stuff in person there next to Pro Image. Hope you all took advantage yesterday of the Breezy Bundle. $1 hot dog and soda yesterday at Jackson's. Hope you took advantage of that on a Tuesday. When Breezy Dubar finds the end zone, you get the Breezy Bundle, a hot dog and a soda for $1. And those are courtesy of our friends at Jackson. As you know, on Mondays, pretty much becoming a regular occurrence now. Every Monday, you're getting a soft drink or a hot coffee there for 91 cents, thanks to Ahmed Hassanin's sack there as well on that game. So hope you're taking advantage of both of those deals. Mondays is the Ahmed Hassanin sack. Tuesdays, the Breezy Bundle, thanks to our friends at Jackson's. And don't forget about Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com. 10,000 plus combinations. leanfeastmeridian.com. Make sure you check them out. Healthy eating options, and they deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley as well. One programming note, Brad, that tonight we're going to have a cool back-to-back shows. Riley and Rid got pushed back to tonight. Some scheduling conflicts, mostly on my end. But Riley and Rid is going to be tonight. But we're also going to have Ball Talk tonight. So we're going to have a 2.5 hour live stream, both shows back-to-back, same live stream. Johnny and Sanford are going to start at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, a little earlier start with Sanford and Johnny tonight at 7 o'clock, and then they will hand it off on the same link, the same show at 8 o'clock to Riley and Rid. And they're going to have Ben Weaver, Sam McCaskill, and Thomas Spurbeck are going to be the guests on Riley and Rid tonight from the James Kitchen and Bar. So if you're in town, come on down, hang out with us. So again, 7 o'clock for Sanford and Ball Talk, 8 o'clock for Riley and Rid. The same link, the same show. We're just going to go from one to the next here on Bronco Nation News. All right, Brad, we talked about this on the post-game show. We kind of joked about when you go to Hawaii, do you do anything fun? Do they get to see the beach? I asked Spencer Danielson on Monday, and yes, when they arrive tomorrow afternoon on Thursday, all the position groups are going to go eat out as a position group on Thursday evening and have a position group, kind of smaller meals. And then they are going to schedule, whether it be an hour or just some time to have, whether it be just a team walk or just some position groups or some free time for the players to at least walk on the beach. And they are staying at a hotel that I guess is pretty close to the beach, right there in the middle of Waikiki area. So they're obviously there for a reason. It is a business trip, but Spencer did say, hey, a lot of these kids, this may be their only time ever going to Hawaii, and we're going to make sure at least for an hour, mostly on Thursday, probably before you lock it in on Friday, let these kids, get to see the beach and experience Hawaii, and an experience that some of them growing up, whether it be Texas, wherever, may never get. They got kids from Germany on this team. I mean, England or wherever else, Ahmed Hassanin coming from Egypt. They're going to, this is a literally for some of these kids a once in a lifetime chance even to go over there for 48 hours for a football game. So kudos to Spencer. Not surprised, but he is going to let these kids at least for 30 minutes or an hour, they're not going surfing or anything like that, but they're going to get a chance to at least walk out and take some pictures and put their feet in the sand for a little while.
And hang out as a position group on Thursday night, not have to eat hotel food. I mean, that's not that it's bad. I'm sure it's good. They get fed really well. Trust me, I don't feel bad for them. But I mean, what a great idea that is. I've never been a part of that. That's a great idea that they can go hang out and. I'm sure that
if they're eating at the hotel or out, but they're eating separately in their positions.
Yeah, so which is even that's a great idea, and I that's a good idea, and it doesn't surprise me. Get to go to the beach and half hour, and then move on and get ready for the game.
What is the challenge? Again, we were talking about this. I was talking with Jay Tust about this, but just the fact that this is a conference game, and this may be the last time for a long time that they play this game at Hawaii with them not joining the conference. I assume from a recruiting standpoint, whatever, Boise State would like to occasionally keep this game going. So I don't know if it's like, there's nothing negative where they never want to play Hawaii again. They have some great history and players over there. I think this could be a game that would be attractive for fans and everybody once every 4 or 5 years, whatever, to maybe try to do. So I'm not necessarily saying they'll never play them again, but in terms of this being a regularly scheduled, you can count on it game, it's done after this year. And so just the challenge of this being a conference game, a 6-hour flight, everything that goes with this, the going in on Thursday, what do you make of just all the non-football stuff that goes along with a trip like this?
Well, I mean, I think you got to wait around a while. They kick off 9:00 Mountain Time, right?
5:00 in Hawaii. Yep.
5:00 in Hawaii. But I think that's one thing I think a lot of teams get kind of caught up with because, I mean, Delaware State played at Hawaii. I mean, that a 5:00 or 7:00 kickoff. And what time is that in Delaware?
Probably midnight, 11 p.m.
Right. And those, I mean, and you don't get used to the time zone, and who knows when they got there. I mean, I would hope they got there at least by Wednesday.
But I do 4-hour time difference from Boise. They're going to practice tomorrow morning and then leave as normal. But essentially, with the 4-hour time difference and a 6-hour flight, you leave at noon and you land in Honolulu at 2 or whatever it's going to be, right. Honolulu time. So, but then they'll have that Thursday to kind of try to. I mean, is that an easy thing or I mean, we all have jet lag. We've all taken long trips, but to turn around a day and a half later and play a 3-hour football game, is there anything to that?
I've never. When we went to Hawaii. Now we went to Hawaii during COVID. That was a disaster. But I mean, we had to eat in our hotel rooms by ourselves, and it was sitting. Yeah, and it was sitting there, and it's been sitting on the table for about 2 hours. So that was a lot of fun. But I think when you get there at that hour, which is you land at 2, then they go do their thing. You go for a walk on the beach, let them hang on the beach. Really, they're loosening up on the beach from sitting on the plane. And you might as well do it a fun way, you know, and things like that. And then you do a slight walk through Friday. And as much as you can keep your normal schedule, that's what the players want. They want, hey, this is the schedule. We like this. And as long as you can keep that, that's why it's so good to go over on Thursday.
And they went on Thursday for the Georgia Southern game. So they already have this season knowing what it's like to get there 2 days early.
2 days early, know when it's time to have business, when time to have fun. It's not babysitting, have some team leadership and things like that. But I think that's smart. That's been true to college. NFL teams do it. I mean, if you're going from the east to the west, you leave on Thursday or leave on Friday for the NFL.
How big is it the free trip for the coaches to go? Spencer didn't obviously name names, but he said they're recruiting a couple of kids that are playing, and they're going to get a chance to go watch their game the night before.
That's the other thing is you can take advantage of when you really don't have that opportunity during the season. Like, it's huge because you can't watch kids play in Hawaii. You can't get there and get back for a game, right? So that's impossible. So it's good to take advantage of the recruiting aspect of it. He can't tell you who it is. It's an NCAA violation. So if anybody's wondering why that is because he can't by rule. But that's the other thing.
For a couple hours and go watch some games that they normally wouldn't get to. It's kind of an added bonus.
Exactly. And then the other thing is now I highly suggest kids getting to that game that are on the island. They get tickets from University of Hawaii. Go watch the game. See us play. especially depending on who you're recruiting. Hawaii's recruiting the same kids. And so now, hey, you come into the game? I'm going to watch you play. You going to come to the game Saturday? Oh, yeah, coach, I'm coming. Perfect. So now they won't be able to talk to him at the stadium or anything like that. But it's always good to see this product live. It's different. And so, I think kids are a lot more resilient than the coaches when it comes to travel and sleeping. Most of those coaches will probably be sleeping on the plane and whenever they can. I always thought it was rough coming back. What a great time to have a bye.
Yeah, they're supposed to get back to Boise around 10 a.m. on Sunday.
10 a.m. on Sunday. Then 10 a.m. on Sunday. Now you're in a flight, you're sore, everything else. Then you got to flip it. Sunday, you're off. Monday, you're right back to the grind because they're practicing on Mondays now. And so that's where having a bye after this game is so much more beneficial than having it before this game. So now they get to fully rest, bye, and then they're going into that, which we all know is a big game. But
yeah,
I think kids are more resilient than coaches. I also think it's important to get out and get them stretched, and so they're not cooped up on a plane and things like that. I think it's important. They usually just sit there and watch movies and sleep anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And your real high scholar kids will be doing homework, which I never.
Alignment, I'm sure.
Oh, I mean, all of them. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, final thing as we kind of wrap this up. So I, one of my keys is going to be starting fast in this game. I mean, Boise State has scored first, I think, in all 5 games. I think they scored on the first drive, I think, in 4 of the 5 games. Mm-hmm. In a game like this with, again, I think a sneaky Hawaii team, at least according to the numbers. I mean, I know UCLA is nothing special, but UCLA went over there and was down double digits going into the 4th quarter, I think, and had to pull it out 16-13. I mean, some of the numbers and some of the individual matchups, like you said, they're not bad stopping the run. That's Boise State's strength. So maybe that's not quite as good of an advantage as it has been. And then, as I mentioned, Boise State's pass defense not good, and they're pretty good at passing the ball. I mean, there's a couple areas where if you wanted to find a reason to take the 20, Hawaii and the plus 22, you could probably find some pretty easy reasons to say this game might be closer than some think it should be. With that said, for me, starting fast, not falling behind, not getting nervous, whatever is going to be a big one for me. But what are kind of your final thoughts or keys to this one?
My number one thing is answer the challenge. This game has some challenges to it that Utah State didn't have, right? I mean, you're walking into a line room and go, all right, guys, they're giving up the second lesson in the conference. Okay, this is it. This is a test. Here we go. Jeanty in that room. Hey, you're going to have to make some people miss. Okay, so the challenge is to get the run game going fast, absolutely. And then obviously challenge on defense is, hey, guys, it's time to answer some questions. And this is it, because they're going to throw the ball all over the lot. D-line, okay, you know what makes great coverage? Sacks. Get pressure on the quarterback. And I want to see some more turnovers. Let's get a couple of
5 games for the defense.
Yeah, let's get a couple of picks. And how great would this be if let's say Boise wins this toss, they defer. Okay, I'd love a pick, rushing touchdown. Right? I mean, that's a start fast scenario for me is get a pick early, okay, and that's run and shoot, things like that, or sack, pick, and then just stuff the ball right in their face, and you don't stop. And then I think, that they're going to have some answers. Hawaii will have to have some answers too, because we saw some man and Maddox threw the ball a little bit. So they're going to have, you're starting to make, they're starting to be harder to defend. Defensively, I'll just say this right now: you better have multiple sacks, and let's get some interceptions. Let's get some turnovers. And now, if that happens in the first half, Boise State's up by 21.
How about Keanohi Kaniho, the Hawaiian native, with a pick 6 or something? That'd be kind of cool. Let's get him a pick or something.
That'd be awesome.
So, obviously, the brother of Kekala Kaniho, and he's the only player from Hawaii, but Braxton Feely apparently has a lot of family that's going to be at Braxton Feely has some ties to Hawaii and some family there, the defensive lineman. But I know that Kaniho and the Kaniho family is going to be out in full force at this one.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of the Noah family. They're all in Hawaii. And so there's
Amalek Perea. I mean, there's a long list of famous players at Boise State from Hawaii, and so they'll have some fans there.
They'll have some fans there, and they're probably living there. And that's what's going to be better. Now, the other thing is don't get shocked when you walk into a 12,000 seat stadium and there's only 10,000 people there. So you can't. That is a factor you cannot control. So don't even try to complain about it. Don't even try to talk about it. You're going to go out there. We're here to beat them and go home. So you're not going to have the atmosphere you have at Albertsons or Oregon.
No,
some of these stadiums they played in.
Yep.
And I mean, I'll tell you what.
They're not sure what the media apparently doesn't have the same accommodations in terms of the boxes and things are different, and trying to find a spot to do our pregame show. So yeah, it's going to be crazy, but it should be a fun time. And again, apologize for folks for the comments, not being able to read those today. Should have that fixed tomorrow, but no comments, and I apologize for that. Brad, appreciate your time as always. Again, don't forget Saturday will be the watch party. Folks want to go down to Western Collective, House of Western, they're downtown Boise on Idaho Street. The Bar National will have the watch party, so come on down 9 o'clock, hang out with the Western Collective Bronco Nation News team and watch the game. And then we'll obviously have full pregame and postgame coverage, as I said earlier in the show. Not to say this to brag, but I say it to thank you to our subscribers, to our advertisers, to everybody that Bronco Nation News is the only local media outlet actually heading over to Hawaii to cover this game. So you want to watch any pregame coverage from the field, post-game coverage, video interview with Spencer Danielson. There's literally one spot you can find that, and that's Bronco Nation News. So thank you again to all you guys for making that possible. Looking forward to getting over there safely and having our coverage here the next couple days from Hawaii. So Brad, appreciate you as always. Thanks to everybody for watching the show. And again, we'll continue this and get you set tomorrow morning. John Mallory will join me 9 a.m. on a Thursday as we get you set for this game coming up on Saturday. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.
Bronco Nation News is presented by RowPaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, The Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Bauscher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course.